is trip done? Trip's overdone.
Trip's over and done.
Okay, well here's my version of life on the road. It's funny, some days you think, you know, we've got plans, we're set, we know what we're doing, and then the next day just throws something random up that had not even entered our brains. We were driving yesterday and Cain was saying the steering was feeling really funny, the van wasn't following behind. We're thinking, oh, maybe something's, you know, not quite right with the van. Turns out that our front shocky has gone and we're going to need to replace the shocks. And it's 10 years old, the whole suspension system. So now we're considering, okay, we should probably replace the whole thing. And we found out that we can't just do it in Victoria. We have to do, if you want a GVM upgrade, you have to do it in the state where your car is registered. The plan is now, and I'm going to go have a chat with Cain in a minute, but I think the plan is that we go back to Queensland. So that has just like thrown everything in the works, like all of our plans, all of our ideas, all the people we want to catch up with traveling, what time of year it's going to be when we get to different places, and it's just thrown everything out the door. So yeah, let's go have a chat to Cain and see what his thoughts are. But yeah, definitely a spanner in the works today. Today, Cain?
Oh, working out suspensions.
Why?
Because ours is nearly 10 years old and it's starting to fail.
So, our suspension is starting to fail.
Yes, we're having some suspension issues, which is going through the tyres and the steering and causing the vehicle to drift.
So, we talked about before we left upgrading our GVM, but we were undecided, so we didn't know if we were going to stay on the road full time, so we just left it. Now it's failing. We're thinking, well, we might as well upgrade the GVM. Is that right?
That's right. Don't get me wrong, the suspension when we left was fine.
Yeah, it was good.
Right.
Yeah.
And it met all our requirements. It was old. That's why we discussed it. But in getting the new stuff, we may as well have got a better payload. So
originally we thought we could just duck to Warrnambool or Portland or somewhere and get...
That's correct. We thought we could do this anywhere if we had issues down the track.
Yep.
However, we've found out...
What did you find out?
That we can't do that because the vehicle's registered in Queensland and it is a post-registration compliance update.
Yep.
That it has to be done in the state that your vehicle is registered in. The alternatives are to try and re-register it in states that you're in, which is a massive headache in itself because our licences are all Queensland, our addresses are all Queensland. It's going to be easier for us to drive 1,500 kilometres back to Queensland.
So we're sitting at Haywood, so
we're near Warrnambool, yes.
Very close to the SA border. Like that was our plan to sort of head towards SA.
That's right.
What are our plans now? So is trip done? Trip's overdone.
Trip's over and done for a short period while we take a little detour. The funny thing is, it's something that I didn't actually sort of envisage we would have to do. I sort of worked on, you know, if there were family deaths or weddings or other things, we had contingency plans. Even with my heart, we got contingency plans to fly back. I didn't picture having to drive the whole vehicle back.
Take everything. Like, we jump in a plane and fly is easy, but we have to take the car back.
Right, I take the whole vehicle back. I even asked them if they could fit their system with their approved suppliers here and have a Queensland plate sent down for it. That is not possible. Legal reasons, they cannot do that. The work has to be done in Queensland. Should they need to have any other inspection done outside of that plate at the time, because each vehicle is different, and they told me now the governments want to do individual vehicle inspections, then I have to take this vehicle back to Queensland. And then obviously for insurance reasons and that too,
We've got to get it done properly.
we've got to get it done properly, because that way then they will insure the work that's been done in a legal matter.
Okay, so are we going all the way back up to Townsville then?
No, we don't have to go all the way to Townsville. That's
Thank
we can.
goodness.
Well, all we got to do is cross the border into Queensland and get it done from an authorised person.
So where are we thinking? What are we thinking?
We're thinking of using Lovells, because Lovells gives me the best, not necessarily the best GVM, but also gives me other options down the track.
Does it also give you GCM?
Look, that is based on individual vehicles, because legislation is continually changing, because everybody
governments.
in the country for some reason is jumping up and down boasting about how great their GVMs and you need to do this, and companies selling it love it because they can then sell that product on a legal basis.
So we don't know if we can have a GCM.
So I would have to individually have my vehicle done for a GCM as well, but I believe that my GCM is 6.5 tonne anyway, and that is fine.
Yeah.
So that's not really the concern. The concern is we've got to take the whole vehicle back to Queensland, so it's a little bit of a detour.
Queensland, we're looking at Lovells. Where are you looking at doing it possibly?
Look, Fulcrum. I've looked at Fulcrum. I haven't contacted them yet. I just contacted TJM, who Lovells said they use as well in Toowoomba, and that Toowoomba would work out really well for us because Fulcrum are in Ipswich. So I'd have to go a little bit further for Fulcrum, but I thought there's no sense in just getting one quote, because if I get 2 or 3, then I'll just pick the best price. Still trying to get that same product and go from there. Petters, I've also been told Petters, but I believe Petters don't have any offering of any CM upgrades on their system for later on, should the legislation allow us to do that.
So there is a silver lining though to all of this.
Yeah, there is.
We get to see the boys.
Oh, we get to go back and see friends and family you normally miss the most, and our boys are in Brisbane, so there'd be perfect opportunity to see them again. So yeah, it's probably
nice.
we think at first, I think a loss, but it's like a loss-win situation. We get to see them, and we're travelling anyway, so.
I didn't know when I'd see the boys next. Cain would see them in June when he has a heart appointment, but yeah, I didn't know. And I think if we see them now, then we'll be quite happy to, maybe have Christmas somewhere else, and they can fly to us if they're doing that, or otherwise we have Christmas by ourselves. But it gives us options of what we do for the rest of the year.
Yeah, look, we're from Queensland there, we don't really know where we would go. We've met a lot of lovely travellers who we sort of trying to meet up with, but this will change plans.
That's probably my biggest disappointment, is that I really had hoped to camp with or travel with Speedos.
That's right,
or
we would
the
love
Outback
to meet
Nomads.
up with Speedos again, yep, or the Outback Nomads.
And I think they're all going to be gone by the time we're ready to go again.
I know. We might meet them coming around the other way.
That's our life update at the moment. And literally yesterday we were just planning on all of our South Australia stuff, and today our plans have changed.
That's right. If you want to whack in a comment of what we probably should have done, or what we probably could do, or where we could go after we get back to Queensland, that's fine, because I would love to get into South Australia. We're so close to Mount Gambier, but I'm not going to be able to do that at the moment.
And it'll be May going into June. I just have a feeling we're going to have to go north somewhere to get away from the cold.
Or if you've got a good weather prediction that's going to be beautiful down here from then, let me know and I'll come back down.
Don't worry, because this YouTube's only about a year behind by now, so you know. I think we've come to the realisation that travelling is something we really want to do. This is a full-time lifestyle now for us. So we want to make sure the car is set. We don't want to just do replace the shocks and she'll be right sort of thing. We want to make sure it's all top dog.
Good way to check the shockies, and if you don't want to take them off or anything like that, is you can just rock your car and you can just check the movement in your shockies, because they're to dampen your springs, to help with the load on the springs. And if they move nice and rapidly, they don't have any shock left in them, so there's no more dampener, and fluids obviously all not working anymore. Shockies will bounce on your spring. Your spring will sit there and bounce, so it'll hold it up a lot more. checked the front one that is definitely failing, compared it to the passenger one, and you can clearly see that there's a difference in the amount of dampening from the shocky. So need a new shocky. Well, don't need a shocky, need a whole new suspension upgrade because the whole system's fairly old now. It's an awesome tough dog big bore system, and we need to upgrade. So trip back to Queensland. Hello, I'm back.
Now, tell them why you're all happy and smiley now.
I found out she done some recording yesterday over camp, so I'm happy. No, that's not it. I'm all happy because I have made a decision to go with the Lovells shocks. So we're going to head back to Queensland soon, get that done.
It's been weighing on your mind.
Oh, look, it has, because Queensland has just upgraded its GCM rules because you could never really do it there, and it only happened this year, so...
Is that really why you're going back?
No, the fact we got to go back.
It just confirms it's an okay decision. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. It's a fair bit of money, but I need to do something anyway, and if I don't, I'll end up just doing more tyres, and it'll just get worse, and then we'll be in more trouble.
And we want to be on the road for a long time.
Yes.
So I think this will set us up better.
That's correct. That's correct.
So excited.
So it's actually been a pretty good day. We left Stawell today, so said goodbye to my parents. We wanted to go back and check out the shed of sticks, so we definitely did that, and I highly recommend that. Shot north, just on some roads we hadn't been on before, so we went through Cooper's Crossing, which is actually Minyup, but Cooper's Crossing was the Flying Doctors. That's where they filmed it. Got up to Donald, went through Donald, up to Nullywall to have a look at some silo art there, and then we've sort of headed back towards Echuca because I've got to go and get my bloody driver's licence from there. And we've found this little spot in the wheel on a weir called Quumbatuk, and it looks like a fabulous little spot, so we thought we might just stop here for the night, chill out. There is phone reception, I believe. The toilets look a bit old. It's an awesome little weir, and there's only one other person here, so it's going to be nice and quiet. Took weir. Check it out on Wikicamps. We found that. We're heading sort of back to Echuca from our day's little excursions of checking some of the goodies out around this area. Found a couple of little hidden gems, and we're going to have a nice peaceful night here tonight. So there is only one other person here down the back. Looks like they're here for a bit longer than us because they got some pretty big solar panels and that set out. But we're just going to have the night here and then shoot off in the morning. On a nice day, it'd probably be nice to have a little dip in there. There's probably some fish in that too. It looks like they've been fishing, or maybe even some crayfish. Not sea crayfish, yabbies we call them. Yabbies, Queensland, yabbies. But it's drizzling, it's pretty windy, and we'll probably spend most of our time in the van. But we got an awesome little outlook.
So join us next week for the long detour back to Queensland, and make sure you like, subscribe so you can follow along all of our journey and see how we go getting back to Queensland. And do we get the suspension upgrade we need? So many big questions, so much to find out. You just have to like and subscribe to find out more. Catch you next week. Okay, let's start this again because you got me confused with what happened last time. So, our suspension is starting to fail.
Our suspension's a tough dog 500 kg constant thumping piece of weaponry.
It's not helping my question.
Okay.
YouTube's only about a year behind by now, so a year prediction.
We might release this one just early as just a little.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? We'll see about that.
We'll see about
YouTube that. Yeah,
worker.
Yeah.
The magic worker.
The one who does everything. Like, we're just going to chuck one out in the middle? I don't know.
Goodness, what was that?
Yeah, recording. You're pressing the button.
That stings. I can't stop it. I tried stopping it, but it's frozen. And you just dropped a big stinker. Check this little spot out. You're an idiot. You're absolutely got spastic about you. Just look at your hair. I don't know how you even got a camera. Mate, you need a good slapping about.